right, so I hope everybody's doing well. This is kind of like a little introduction before we get started with this video. Obviously, the video and everything, just she's getting her son's story out there. She's asking for help. She's asking for people to look into the case for her. Uh, and I'm going to let her tell that entire story. I just want to let you know or give you a heads up that if if at first it's a little hard to hear her or understand her, it's because she's dealing with cancer, and it's really messed with her voice, makes it hard for her to talk. Plus, she's obviously extremely upset with this entire process. But if there's anybody out there that is in that area that's familiar with this case, that'd be willing to look into it to help her, that may be able to get to it faster or sooner than what I can is just myself or what John at Palmetto Sleuth, once I pass it on to him, what he'd be able to look into, it'd be greatly appreciated. Ms. Harvey's been a super supporter of us from the very beginning. I heard about her son's case months ago, right when we first started this. I'd reached out to her in the past, and she had kind of, I guess, passed on speaking with us at first, and then I think some of the reasons she had passed on it was just the way that it was hard for her to talk, and she didn't want to get upset. So please, if you're watching this, make sure that you show her a ton of support. Let her know throughout the Loudwater community that we fully support her, that we rally behind her, we'll help her out in any way that we can. And also make mention in this about the wonderful women that I've met from Bring Thrasher Home, and as well as Brent Garcia's Army. Between them, and I know there's a ton of people that are associated with that, but there's 3 with Brent's Army, 3 ladies, and then 2 with Bring Thrasher Home. All 3 are all 5 are family members. I'm not going to mention them just out of respect for that. They're a great group of people, great, strong individuals. But really, she's going through this. She's going through this battle with cancer, and I just want to see if there's anybody out there that'd be willing to reach out to her and to help her. I don't know, right? I'm not sure if she has a lot of people supporting her or going through this with her. Obviously, it's been a traumatic situation with her son as well. But just for me, on a personal note, I'm asking that y'all reach out to her, take care of her, make her feel welcome, loved, and just flood her with prayers and support. Thank you all. Without further ado, here's all right. So like I said, I'm Mike with Loudwater Outfitters. I'm the founder, kind of running everything going on. And today we're looking into the Adam Clark Harvey case. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
No, that's fine. And today I have his mother on as Miss Rachel Harvey. And this is out of Abbeville, South Carolina, correct?
Right.
All right. And he, just so that I get the dates right, so everybody that's aware, he was reported missing on September 11th, 2021. Is that correct?
Right. 9/11. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And then unfortunately, he was ultimately found deceased on March 3rd, 2022. Is that correct?
Um, Actually, it was before then they found the remains, but of course, we had to wait.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, it was a little bit before then.
Yes, ma'am. So, before, like I said, I don't do a whole lot of talking. I turn it over to the family members pretty quick. Number one, I just wanted to say, all of mine and anybody that's associated with me, our thoughts and prayers go out to you. I know you had also told me just a minute ago that since he had passed, unfortunately, you've been having a pretty bad battle with cancer, and I definitely praying for you on that, and I hate that for anybody. So, you take your time. Anything that you need at all, we're here for you. And if you need to stop at any point in time, you just let me know, okay? But other than that, I'm honored to meet you, honored to talk to you, and anything I can do to help you.
Yeah, you too, baby. I appreciate you and everything you're doing, and I just number one, I want the laws to change. I don't want this to happen to another family. Everybody's so ignorant, and I'm ignorant. When somebody goes missing, I thought there was automatic Amber Alert and all this, that, and another, and that needs to change. When Adam went missing, I was not notified. He was with his grandmother. It was 5:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. It was 9/11/21, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, he's never run away. Yes, my son was disabled, and I promise you, I have fought for that child from day one. And I have fought for him from day one, doctors, and just keep him on this earth, and etc. Anyways, I just I just want to get it out there. The laws need to change as far as when somebody goes missing. That there's not just an automatic Amber Alert, and when your person, child, or whatever goes missing, you need to call the police right then. Because if I'd have known, maybe things would have changed. I don't know. So, anyways, my mother called me at 5:30 that afternoon. I had been sick in the hospital earlier, and that's the only reason why he was there with her that day. Early in the week's month or something like that, I was still recovering. But anyways, my son, I had him in adult daycare, and he come home that Friday. It was on the 10th, and he begged, wanted to go see us down there. They hadn't seen each other in a while, and anyways, I let him go, and didn't never see him again after that. And then at 5:30 in the afternoon, the mama called me frantic. They had got into it. Adam done had a meltdown, and he just disappeared, and that was it. Nobody's seen him since. When I got the phone call, his daddy, his stepdaddy, got jumped in the truck and rode right up the road and go get him and calm him down or whatnot, bring him home. 2 minutes he went by, and I was like, well, something ain't right. And I can't call and text, and I said, something ain't right. And so he got back with me within, I guess, 30 minutes. I don't know. But anyway, I told him I should get back down here and let's go find him. So that's what we did. We rode up and down the road, and he got in the woods, and we was all looking, and the neighbors was looking and hollering and carrying on for him. So about, I think it's about half mile up the road, there's an old shop there on the left. There's a white building on the left above my mama's house. And that was the last place we were told he was seen. But anyways, that's what the neighbors had told us.
Mhm.
And of course, I guess it was, I don't even know what time it was. Mama called me at 5:30 and all this was going on. I guess it took like an hour. Might have been 2 hours. We was not looking for a child. We was panicked. He
Mhm.
was disabled, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, that's not your thought to call the police when your child goes first missing. But we did. I called the police. I want to say it was 8 o'clock, and they just come in, and I'm gonna tell you, they brought the dogs out and everything they could do. They had drones and all that. I'm not bashing them or anything, you know. I promise you I'm not. They did all they could that night, but turned around, you know. Well, they was kind of bashing us back, if you get my meaning.
Mm.
It was like, well, why didn't you call us right away? And we were told we was abusing him and this, that, and another, and I just wanted to find my child, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
So, that Sunday, they looked until 3 or 4 o'clock that morning. Anyways, they shut it down and they was back on it Sunday all day, and it was got rather warm that day. And Lord, everybody come out. I just don't know what to say. But when his remains and everything was found, there was no law in the house. below our house. I live on the same road as my mother.
Mm-hmm.
There was a mile and a half away back on a dirt road over the county line. I live on Abbeville McCormick Lane, all the way back up on a dirt road. Nothing makes any sense. I believe in my heart. Everybody believes. I think somebody picked him up and killed him. I don't believe that he just went out here in these woods and died from water and malnutrition. There were people for weeks and weeks, volunteers, looking all back through him. I just don't believe it.
Yes, ma'am.
We all country folks around here, and all these roads around here all connect. There's one every way. Now, mind you, my son was very disabled. He was obsessed. I'm telling you, he was obsessed with the military.
Mm-hmm.
That was his thing. If you know anything about autism,
Yes, ma'am.
schizophrenia, anything like that, I know in the heart that I am. Had nothing else. He would have gotten out here in this tank just to get on the maps and research and stuff. He'd have found water. I just don't believe it. Another issue I have, all this technology and stuff, how can they not tell somebody how they died? His death is undetermined. I did not kill my child. If my family, my mother, my husband, whatever was involved, then of course I want them prosecuted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just is what it is. But I just want his story. I don't want my child to die. I feel like everybody needs to know and not, if somebody goes missing in your life, you need to tell them right then.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. I'm just going to back up for a second, I guess. So you said when his remains were found, it was within about 2 miles from your house. Is that correct?
It was less than 2 miles below the house.
Okay.
So if you could come down here and look, there ain't no way. They've been grown men. The grown men that couldn't, I had military men looking through the woods for him. There was veterans and stuff looking for him. If you could see where his remains were found, it don't add up.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't even know what remains were found. I have a lot of questions. I just don't get it. And maybe I'm in the wrong. Maybe he did. Maybe he was having a psychotic episode and he did make it down here. I just don't see how. And I just want somebody to look into it. If you could do that, if you know somebody would just look into it, I would appreciate it. But if you can't, explain too. Because I feel like the law, the good Lord, gonna take care of whoever did this. I'll never believe my child just walked off in the woods and disappeared and died like this.
Yes, ma'am. No, and as far as me looking into it, like I said, I know you've heard me tell other people stuff. I don't do stuff like that, but in this case, in this situation, I would be more than happy to at least review the stuff or any of the materials, like the case file and stuff that's associated with the case. Right now, there's certain ways that I would have to go about doing that, and again, I don't want you to ever think that just to clear that rumor completely right now. We will never ever ask for a dime to do anything that we do, right? We run strictly off
Right.
donations and things. So
I know, man.
I would be it and again, I just from my 10 years in law enforcement, this is one of the ones that I would be more than happy to help you out with, okay? Just to look through it to see if I notice anything. The report itself, do you have copies of all of that?
Yes, I know.
Okay. Now when they sent off the remains to be identified, I'm assuming, did they send those to SLED? Did they send them to?
Man, listen, because I did so much with my child.
Hmm.
I used to have to I had to take Adam to the genetic center every year since he was 2 or 3 years old because we wanted to know what was wrong with him.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that's how they found out. Because of me and everything I tried to do for him, or I might would still be waiting on that
Yes, ma'am.
results.
So because
So
of the because
that's
of
how I gave them permission to go through the Greenwood Genetic Center to get his DNA to even know that it was him.
Okay. Well, see, and that's one of the things too. So I'm glad that you brought that up. I mean, well, I hate that you had to bring that up, but I'm glad that you brought it up because that's why I'm a huge supporter of DNA testing, right? There's so many cases out there that without that DNA testing, or in your situation, unfortunately, like you said, if you hadn't already done that, or if that DNA wasn't on file, you there's no telling how long you would have had to wait to get some kind of confirmation that it was Adam. So
Right,
so as far as that goes, that's one of the things you'll see me. I post a lot about the cases for that, the DNA
right.
testing thing.
I fully believe in that. And uh, yes, Slade was involved, but I really don't want to talk bad about the police or anything, but some of them were bullies.
Hmm.
No, we're not from Abbeville. We're not from the South, but I've been here for 30 years. Yes, I'm a Yankee. One of the cops made a smart ass remark calling my mama a damn Yankee. Well, since then, and I just had to look at him, busted out laughing. After 30 years, over 30 years, I've been in Abbeville. I think I've proven that I'm kind of a Southern Yankee. I always laugh and joke with my friends. They laugh at me. I'm a half breed about being a Yankee and a Southerner. I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I
But
understand, and
it shouldn't have been an issue.
no, well, that
The
should have never been
problem,
brought
I'm a
up.
damn Yankee. Well, another thing is, uh, they was dwelling on about Charlie did this. His stepdaddy beat him and killed him and did this. They asked all of us to take the lie detector test. We all agreed to it. Uh, way early. I can't tell you exact dates, and I apologize.
That's fun.
Um, when the case was going down or whatever was going on at the time, but my family set up the lie detector, and it was after Adam's funeral, and it was at my Charlie had a stroke
Mm.
after he's not the best of health, but after the stroke, and it come back in how you say
Inconclusive.
right.
Yes, ma'am.
They made him sit there for 4 or 5 hours. But he don't have a stroke. He has like a short term memory loss. They should have done all of us before then. And since then, my mom's had strokes, nervous breakdowns. She's living with me right now.
Hmm.
So all of us, it's been hell. It's been hell here.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I mean, number one, you're
I don't want no sympathy. I don't want anything from anybody. I just want to know what happened to my son. He
not.
didn't deserve this.
No,
And
ma'am, and nobody.
I want to help others and be an advocate. I was an advocate for my child. I've been an advocate for my family for years. And I've been an advocate for all my elders that I've taken care of. I tried my best. But we didn't deserve this. And if you can do something, it'll be all right. And if it can't, so be it. But
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to touch base and God bless y'all for whatever y'all doing.
Well, I appreciate it, and God bless y'all too. And so what I'll do is, so obviously, I mean, we already know what the end result was, unfortunately, in this case. So what you're just wanting to do is kind of connect those blocks. And if there's anything that me or, like with John with Palmetto Sleuth, he works a lot with me. He does a lot of research into things too. Between the two of us, I don't foresee any reason whatsoever, that we couldn't at least find out, or at least be able to break it down a lot better for you to kind of understand what they saw or what they known, or if there's needs for, if it's still undecided or unconclusive.
And see, I don't even know if the case is even active or if it was just closed or what. All
Mhm.
they told me is that there was nothing else they could do unless somebody come forward. And the detective told me that he does not believe that Adam just ended up down there in the woods where he was at without foul play, but there wasn't no proof of it.
Mhm.
So
Well,
I just don't know.
well, and so we know of a bunch of different places too. A bunch of different well, not a bunch of different, but two different labs that are extremely good at what they do, that can do DNA testing and things like that. And again, I'm not saying that anything was missed, but if it got to that point, if they had some sort of DNA that was there that didn't come back with a match, I would be willing to reach out and see if we could have that set up. Now, that's something that that entity does with law enforcement. We just kind of facilitate trying to get that set up as well. So if that's something, we could possibly do that. Anything that we can do just to kind of get some more eyes looked into it. So because I mean, at the end of the day, we don't know until we know for sure what took place, right? We don't know if there was an accident. We don't know if there was foul play. We won't know that until we go through certain process steps there. And again, with law
Right.
enforcement, I'm sure they've done whatever they've done, but sometimes it is good to have outside eyes come in and look at things like that. Just maybe if something was missed. Again, that's what I did for 10 years. I looked for the smallest anomalies, and that's what helped me in the process of what I was finding, the people that I was trying to catch.
And you know what, baby, you awesome, but I do wish they would change the laws about the Amber Alert and make people more aware. Because when Adam went missing, they did a red alert and it went out on all the landline phones.
Hmm.
Well, that's my question too. Why? See, people really like, well, why wasn't there an Amber Alert and they angry at the police? Well, it's because it's not set up everywhere. People
Yeah.
are ignorant. It should be everywhere. Every county. I don't care how small. Town Falls, hell, Mount Carmel is just a little bitty place in the world. There should be an Amber Alert or something everywhere on this earth. At least in the United States. You see what I'm saying?
No, I
If it
understand.
could if it could save someone, the laws and stuff, at least about that, at least if that makes any kind of good outcome about what's going on with our issue or case, please, if you could at least get that changed or tell me how I could get it changed. Because that needs to change.
Yes, ma'am. So what I can tell you, as far as that is, number one, I'll always push to go higher, right? So I always push for people to talk to their congressmen, for people to talk to senators, lawmakers, things like that. But there's two
But
groups that I know of for sure. One's out of Sumter. It's called Brent's Army. That's a group hit that their
you
net.
send me the link. You
Yeah.
send me all the information and link because I won't remember unless it's written down.
Yes, ma'am. So and that's fine. But but yeah. So between Brent's Army for Brent Garcia's case, and then there's a Bring Thrasher Home, and that one's kind of closer to you. But those two, and it's made up of about. I mean, there's hundreds of people in them, but there's 5 ladies for sure between the two of them that they know and have been through the process for years now. And I'm definitely going to pass your information on to them. So when I post this video, I'm gonna link it to them as well. That way they can reach out to you. And since they already have been involved in that, hopefully they can help you out. And they're super jam up, super sweet ladies, and I know they'd be more than willing to help you out in any way that they can to try to give you answers on who to talk to there. Okay.
Thank you, baby. And
Mm-hmm.
thank you for all y'all doing. I want y'all to be safe.
Yes, ma'am.
Keep
Absolutely.
on doing what you're doing, because you're
Uh,
going to change this world.
yes,
You're
ma'am.
going to
That's
make a difference. And look, I keep you in my prayers, and I'll keep saying whatever you need me to do to keep y'all alive or whatever.
yes, ma'am.
You got my back 100%.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I greatly appreciate it. And like I said, my heart breaks for you. My prayers will be with you, and we'll do all we can. And I'm gonna get you in touch with those ladies because they're super strong, super smart, and they've been through the process unfortunately for a couple years now. So I'll definitely link them to you. And then I'll get this video put up. That way, it's going to bring the awareness to it. As long as that's what you want, right? You're okay with that?
I'm fine with it, baby. Whatever you got to do.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. But at this point in time, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna get started, get the ball rolling, get this edited. I'm gonna reach out to them, and then I'm gonna put your video up. And like I said, they're a huge support group because that's the one thing I want you to remember in all this too, right? So obviously, I know it's probably one of the worst things that's ever happened to you in your life, but unfortunately, through that pain that you're going through, um, I've talked to a lot of families that are going through similar things, and I truly believe that if y'all came together and y'all bond and talk together, y'all can truly support each other, right? The Loudwater community it's a beautiful thing as far as the way that people are able to help each other, and I do believe this is going to be one of those cases to where that can take place to kind of help you to heal, to understand things a little bit better. Obviously, I'm good at what I do, both as far as the research side of things and then trying to help people. And I'm not saying that being cocky at all. I know that I am. So I'm more than willing to try to help you out in any way that I can there. So I'll get started on it. I'll tell John about it. I'll tell them, and then the video will go out so other people can hear it as well. Okay. Does that sound like a plan?
That sounds like a plan, baby. God bless you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You need anything at all, just reach out to me.